احنا النهارده في جامعة sunway، جامعة من الجامعات المميزة جدا في ماليزيا. النهارده هنغطي لكم كلية هندسة والمعامل اللي فيها بصحبة عميد الكلية. يلا بينا.
Sunway University, truly a class above.
So good morning.
Morning.
So can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Professor Danny Ng. I'm the Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Technology. I'm a chemical engineering professor by training. So welcome to Sunway University.
Can you tell us more about the Faculty of Engineering in Sunway and what is best achievements for the faculty and which courses or fields under engineering?
Okay. In general, Faculty of Engineering on Technology, we call it short form FET, has both schools, School of Engineering and School of Computing and AI, Artificial Intelligence. So under the School of Engineering, and I would say, particularly we have 5 engineering courses. We have chemical, we have mechanical, E&E, and mechatronics, robotic engineering. These are the and civil as well. So we generally have all the engineering discipline that we have. So what is the best achievement of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology is we have a lot of, I would say, good research projects that we have. Under the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, we also have 4 centers, and 4 of them also working very closely with engineering. For example, we have the centers of nanomaterials, focusing on nanomaterial synthesis for energy systems, for water treatments. We also have centers focusing very much on decarbonizations. How do we decarbonize using nanomaterials, using a new strategy? How do we reduce carbon footprint for all the projects? And also we have centers focusing very much on robotics, developing UAE, drones technology, robotics technology, and so on and so forth. With all this achievement in research, we are actually striking our strong, I would say, Shanghai ranking. We are the only private university in Malaysia that actually being listed in the Shanghai ranking for the area of energy and science last years. So Shanghai ranking is not a ranking that you base on reputation, because obviously some of the ranking exercise such as QS ranking are based on reputations. But Shanghai ranking is purely based on the strength of your research capability and then your work that you have done to achieve that, then you can actually get into Shanghai ranking. And we are now top, I would say, being listed in the Shanghai ranking. Besides, we are also now top 500 universities in the world. Wow. In the recent, I would say, the impact ranking of THE, we are also top 400 in the world.
So I want to ask you, is Sunway students or the engineering students joined before any green energy competitions by grade projects and get awards?
Okay, obviously we have won quite a number of awards internationally and nationally. One of which it will be actually last year we have a group of students representing Sunway went to Taiwan to bid for the Net Zero Challenge. And we are the only Malaysian university being listed in the top finalists. So we won, I would say we are the top 20s in the world, and Malaysia we are the only one. Besides, we also won quite a number of awards. Recently we actually went into the Brunei. So we're not just championing Malaysia awards, we are also championing international awards. So we are actually being shortlisted as top finalists in the Brunei. In one of the projects we have a dashboard systems that actually can design to monitor and optimize the energy consumptions of the building. And we are basing on the net zero building that we are developing. So this project is also being shortlisted as a finalist in the Brunei Challenge as well. So I would say we actually encourage our students to join all the external competitions. And one of the projects is coming up very soon is we are going to build our first solar car in Sunway University by our students. So we have recruited a group of students. The car has not been built yet, now in the design phase. So a group of students already now led by one of the professors in the faculty, designing how to design a car. Because designing a car is just not buying the parts and then assembly, it's not. So we are starting from scratch. So students actually learn how to design the car, aerodynamics, function, every single component within the car has to be designed. and we manufacture ourselves in the future. So it takes years to preparation for building a car. It's just not build a car on its own.
So it's not only as a project, it will be as a product.
Yeah, eventually we want to go for a race. And hopefully, I would say a year or two from now, we can take part in this something called Shell Eco Marathon. It's a global challenge organized by and funded by Shell. It's actually a car racing competition. Hopefully, we have a sunway team representing the university going for the race in the country. So this is in the preparations of the projects that we have.
Wow, that's great. So last question, if we want to encourage students now to join engineering in some way, give me two things who is really different in engineering in some way, different than the other universities.
One of the highlights of Sunway University, I would say, is we are the only university globally that is championing on two areas. Number one, sustainability. Number two, AI or data analytics. Why I highlighted these 2 points? If you noted the DNA of Sunway Group, actually Sunway University is belong to a group. We are just not a university on its own. We're actually part of a bigger group. It's called Sunway
It's a city,
Group.
not
And
university.
we always make fun about that. You know, a lot of universities do have a campus. And Sunway University has a city. You can see the Sunway Pyramid, which is the mall. We have Sunway Resort Hotel. We have the Sunway Medical Center, Sunway Sanctuary, and all over. So it's basically a Sunway University own the entire city. And the city is built around the Sunway University on its own.
Yeah,
If you noted, we're actually in the heart of the city.
Yeah.
Number two, a lot of the university will actually teaching a traditional engineering program where you doesn't have any informations about analytics and AI. But in Sunway, we are actually offering a course called AI for engineers, data analytics for engineers, purely designed by our own staff. Why? Because under the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, I have two schools. School of Engineering, School of Computing and AI. With the support from the Computing and AI, we actually can create a new course focusing for our engineers on the area of AI and computing, as well as data analytics. And one more highlight, when I talk about AI and data analytics, right? All engineers in the whole Sun University, regardless of your chemical, mechanical, electrical, robotics, or civil, you are required to learn programming. This is non-common. Normally in the industry, you won't, or in university, you won't see people doing programming for chemical engineering students.
So you mean in all courses under engineering, they have programming subjects?
Yes, they have to do it. It's part of their compulsory
It's
subject.
core subjects,
It's a
not
school.
just pass and fail.
Correct. Why? Because in the future, programming skill will be part of the normal, we call it soft skills, any soft skills. Back then, we don't have Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word is a professional certification. Now, you talk about you have Python knowledge, you are professional certified, you have your Python. Because you are non-chemical engineering, we don't learn Python. But in Sunway, including chemical engineers, civil engineers, they learn Python. Why? Because
Chemical and civil.
learning programming skills. Because most of the time you look at E and E, they might have programming skill set. But not chemical, neither mechanical, neither civil. But in SunU, we are teaching all this into our students, so that our students are well prepared before they go to the industry in the future. So welcome to our projects labs. So this is a very interesting lab. This place is allowing students to build their own prototyping for our students. So our year one engineering students already starting doing project. It's called Sustainable Engineering Project. So they work with different disciplines. For example, chemical students, mechanical, electrical, electronics, as well as civil engineering students and mechatronic program students. They all work together as a team. What they do, they are giving a challenge. We call it engineering challenge. So they will do on different projects. Then they design the project. Then they can use the 3D printers. So you can see these are the 3D printers availability in the Sunway University. different level of printers. We have the most basic printers, where I have a single color.
So the students must have lab to use it, or they can use it anytime for.
They can use it anytime. They can just book the time with the lab technicians. They can actually print on their own. So we have the most basic one, single color. And then later we can have a higher grade versions. This is the upgraded versions. We have 3 colors. And then what are the highlights of the program here is, remember I mentioned we are very focused on sustainable development.
Yeah.
And therefore the filament that we bought is also a starch-based filament, which is sustainable material, not a plastic type
So
of
this
filament.
all is like models that university bought, or there is any of these that the students build it?
We actually bought it for students to use it. These are very, I would say, advanced 3D printers that we had. And then the other one is the most expensive one that in this unit is actually a 4-color printers. So you can print 4 color embedded together as single printing.
That's nice.
And
like
then
this,
yes, exactly. This is actually a student project on its own. It was built by our students' design, using it to filter the waters and then to recycle the water for the plant. They're actually designing this for automations watering the plant when the plant needed water. So it's a very interesting project that is built by our students. And then we do have a bigger size printers. So obviously the one that you have seen is a bit smaller size. This is actually can be built bigger size printers, and this is done by our students. So they actually design the diagram, and then we will send it for printing in our space.
Yeah. Nice. So the students have everything to really do a project and join competitions.
Yes.
So yeah, Sunway encourages the students to compete in the competitions.
Yes, it is.
Can you explain for us this project and all the lab?
Okay, good. Pleasure. This is welcome to our electrical electronics projects. So this particular project that I would like to highlight is actually a solar PV cell. Just now you remember we were talking about sustainability a lot more on our faculty engineering program.
Yes.
And this is one of the examples that we are doing. We are also teaching students how to the functionality of the PV cell. And we do have an actual PV cell and then simulators. The student actually can understand how the photovoltaic will change based on the angles and the heat, the sunlight generations based on the heat recovery. So this is part of the education that we're providing to our students in the undergraduate program of EE students. So they will learn about how do we utilize the facilities, and then also different dimensional, different angles of the solar PV were affecting the performance of the sunlight power. So this is the modular education system for the drivers and the DC motors. And then you can see there's all the setup. Students actually can use all the systems, and then they will do that part of the experiments.
طيب احنا دلوقتي بقى في معمل الميكانيكال انجينيرنج، برضو السيفل ستودنتس بعض الاحيان بيستخدموا المعمل ده، فتعالوا نشوف اكتر عن المعمل. Can you explain for us about the mechanical lab?
Sure. Welcome to our carpentry in Sunway University. This is the place that we are allowing our students to build prototype with wood-based materials. You can see they have all the machines that we had designing for our students to actually allow them to build prototyping. One of the things that highlight in SunU, I would say, is a project base. So now you see our project labs, we have so much of 3D printers to allowing students to actually develop different projects based on the 3D materials. We also have wood-based materials, allowing students to actually build from scratch. So they can use wood-based material to develop projects. And this is all the equipment that we have. Just now you saw the 3D printers that we had is mainly solid phase, right? So you use the starch-based material to print. But that one, the size of the I would say the fineness of the product is purely based on the printer head.
Okay.
In order for you to print a very nano material scale kind of chamber that you use it for, like for example, in the aerospace industry, you want to create nano reaction in the micro chamber. Such printer will not be able to do the job. And you need this kind of printer. And this is what we call liquid phase printer. They're using a liquid phase and then to create micro channel inside. And you can't even see the micro. You have to use microscope to see the chamber. And that is what we had prepared for our students now. Welcome to our carpentry of the Sunway University. In this lab, we're not only having the printers, carpentry, the workshop, we also have our 3D printers, the laser cutter. And with this laser cutter, we can actually do engraving on cutting the shape of the materials based on what we want. This is a wood material. We can also using the 3D cutters into using metal plate and others as well. And we also have all the other machines. Basically, this room is designing to have capturing the air to the outside so it won't pass through the smoke and the smell. And we were able to do soldering here as well as also the welding machine is actually located in this space.
So Sunway offer you all the printers, so you must do a great projects. احنا دلوقتي في الميكانيكال وركشوب، فتعالوا نشوف كده لان في مفاجآت جميلة جدا. Can you explain to us the new machine and all the workshop?
Okay. Welcome to Sunway Workshop. This is the place that we are actually allowing students to build material or build project on the metal. So now we learn about wood, right? And then 3D printers. Now we come to the metal area. You can see this is actually the first that we have arrived in the private university in Malaysia, 6-dimensional CNC machine. What is this machine for? It's allowing us to build metal block and then cut into 6-dimensional. X, Y, Z, rotation, left and right. So this is what we call 6-dimensional CNC machine. Probably in the first in a private university in Malaysia. We don't have found it everywhere. And you can see it's still assembly. It just ready. It just was delivered last Saturday. So a few days ago, so the team are just still assembly. And we have more other machines. We have the milling machine here, also just ready to be open very soon. So hopefully by a week from now, we are able to open this space for our students. Okay, so one of the highlights of Sunway University, I would say, we actually partner with a lot of industry and ensuring that we are delivering the best and the latest technology knowledge to our students. And this is a very great example that we had. We are working closely with Daikin. Daikin, for your information, is the world leading air conditioning manufacturers in the world. What they do, they're actually working with us. They've donated a system, it's called airflow chamber to our students. And students are allowed to do the understanding and measuring the airflow, how the flow in the HFC chamber, and then students can understand the temperature fluctuations and so on and so forth. And this is what we had for our students from the collaboration with Daikin.
تعالوا بقى نستكمل برضو هنا ميكانيكال، احنا لسه في ميكانيكال. تعالوا نشوف الفايبريشن سيستم وسيستمز ثانيه كتير.
Okay, good. Welcome to this light structure lab in Sunway University. You can see that we have a lot of machines being ready for our students. And this is part of the mechanical labs that we have developed and to be open in the next coming semesters. So what we have, you can see this is tensile systems, and then we have vibration systems, and then we also have the different structure that we are allowing students to understand to do the experiment as part of their education undergraduates. So with that machines in place, students will learn about your mechanical, static structures in the parts of the course. This is the key site lab that we had. This is part of the collaboration that we have in the industry, again, for our EAE students. So what we do, we collaborate with Keysight. Keysight is one of the leading companies in the industry from the United States, America. And what they do is we have the IoT laboratory in partnership with Keysight, and all the labs inside is co-funded by Keysight. So we are providing the best and latest technology for our students to ensure they learn about IoTs. Welcome in to our Keysight labs, IoT lab in Sunway University. You can see this is all the laboratories that we are offering to the students. There are students working on projects. They can come into the lab anytime that they want. as long as there are no classes running. So they are giving free to access to the labs. And you can see we have a lot of all the Keysight machines that make available for our students to learn about how to do the IoT connectivities for all the labs that we have. All right, just now we were talking about the labs that we have for the solar panels, right? And then one of the questions being asked is, do we able to allow students to actually do programming? And then how do you actually optimize using your programming skills and then apply? And this is where you will be. So in this lab, we're actually allowing students to do control. And what you do is basically you learn about control programming, and then you program the codes and then upload into the system, and then ensuring the system operate according to your program and controllability. For example, in this particular beams, so what you need to do is we need to control the program so that we can allow us to balance the mode of this ball and stabilize within the beams. So this is one of the programmings that you have to do, ensuring the balls actually stabilize at the beam in the middle. Welcome to Advanced Computing Lab. In this lab, what we do is we provide the facility for our students, particularly engineering students, to use the advanced computers labs. And this place, we uploaded all the software, the engineering software for our students. So students can come in to sit for their class, as well as also doing their project in this room. Welcome to our fluid mechanics lab. So in this lab, students are actually able to learn different type of fluids models that you have learned in your equations, and they're going to conduct the experiment in this lab. So we have all the different fluid mechanics equipments to open for our students to be utilized. And one of the latest projects that we had, the machine that we bought is this wind tunnel. So in this project, we are actually allowing students to learn about how the fluids will flow through the different dimensionals, how it actually changes the pressure and the frictions of the wind towards the model that we built inside these facilities. And you can see this is also a different piping frictions, different type of valve, different pipe. What is the friction, what is the pressure drop in the piping? And this is what is going to offer to both engineering, chemical and mechanical engineering students. Welcome to our mass transfer labs for chemical engineering students. In this is the home for chemical engineering students, where you can see we have different type of equipment available for our students. And particularly this is membrane filtering systems, where you know the membrane is in this vessel. You can actually put in the different type of membrane and then study the different filtration systems efficiency as well. And then on this side, we have all the different type of heat reactor. So reactor is basically equipment that you perform reactions. Obviously, students, you learn chemistry, you learn about A plus B equals C and D. These are just normal reaction in the chemistry. But how it actually takes place in the industry, you need to use it in the reactor. And this is the different type of reactor that we have set up for our students, covering from the catalytic big bed reactor. So you have a catalyst inside the fixed bed of the reactor. And then we also have different type of reactor here. On this side, we have the tubular flow reactor. So the material go into the flow, and then we have the heating coil to allow the change of the temperature. And finally, we have another type of reactor on this side. It's called continuous tank reactor, CSTR. So it's a batch liquid that you go in, and then you can come out with the liquid on the supply and the discharge at the same flow rate, but then you can actually maintaining the reaction take place in this reactor. Okay, welcome to our chemistry lab. Like I said, chemistry is referring to mainly using for chemical engineering students. So what we do is we do different type of experiment. We call it wet lab as well. So you can see there are a lot of chemistry equipments for them to mix, to preparing for samples of chemicals and then wash and clean the students. And this is all the different equipments that we have prepared for our students. allowing them to start using it for the preparation of the samples of chemicals and then using for their experiments. In order for us to prepare the space for students to test what type of chemicals that you have in the solutions, what are the things that we need to do is we need to have some instrument to allow us to take the samples and analyzing what are the equipments. Obviously, this is one of the GCMS that we have, mainly for us to detect different type of chemicals using the wavelength, and then based on the report we identify what type of chemicals inside the samples that we have. And then we also have this ICP, also another area for us to testing out the equipment or the materials inside the samples. This is all made available for our undergraduate students and postgraduate students for their usage.
ودي كانت جولتنا النهارده في sunway خاصة في كلية الهندسة. استنونا الفيديوهات الجاية. سلام.